Welcome back to GamesRadar live from Gamescom 2022, and Josh just got an early hands-on with Pentiment. This is the new game from Obsidian Entertainment, the guys behind Fallout New Vegas, although this is nothing like Fallout New Vegas.
Pentiment is basically a really small-scale narrative adventure game, kind of born of the mold of Night in the Woods or Oxenfree or Mutazone, which these kind of weird, kind of text-heavy adventure games. With the difference on this one being you basically playing this journeyman artist, 16th century, I believe. Like, one of his friends gets murdered, and it's set over a span of 25 years, and you're sort of trying to figure out who did the murder. And there's like, you can pretty much accuse anyone in the game, I think.
Oh, really?
And there's like not an end game, like it's not like a right or wrong answer. You kind of, it's more based on like morality and your sense of the class system, and it's really in depth, like a lot of reading. It's basically you are just reading and moving, but very funny, very well written, and really interesting. Like just kind of took me back a bit, because that studio is known for creating like some of the most in-depth sprawling RPGs of all time, and suddenly here's this really cool narrative adventure game. But it's really cool.
Visually I think it stood out to a lot of people, right? A lot of people were waiting for that announcement from Obsidian, and maybe this isn't what they were expecting, but like you say, visually it's super unique. It looks like it's ripped straight out of like a Bible, art book sort of thing. Really interesting to hear that it has this story that spans many years. And so did you get a sense of how long the game would be? I know you said it's kind of like a more confined story there.
Not super sure on how long it is, but given the sort of depth of the there's a character creator where you can choose different backgrounds, and they'll inform your dialogue choices, and there's all this sort of stuff going on, and I think it's going to be fairly long. Like, just from the creative director has spoken in the past about how this is like a really authentic to history sort of experience, and he really wants people to get a sense of what the world was like back then, and how not only the environments will change over those 25 years, but society and the and the class system in this period changed as well, and that sort of informs the conversations you're having, the accusations you might make, because there's obviously the core murder, but then there's other mysteries your character will get pulled into, and your sort of decision making around those will really be informed by the stuff you learn, your perspective on events and on the people around you. So it's really interesting, and like it's really sharply written, which wouldn't expect anything less from Obsidian. But it was just, again, it was such a unique experience, and I played it for about half an hour. My character was sitting in on an autopsy, and while the autopsy's going, he's got his notebook out and he's like scribbling down details just in case they'd be helpful later. And because I'd chosen a background in like Latin and occultist studies, like he's asking different questions that reveal different facts and different bits of misinformation that then sort of say, oh well, if this happened and that happened, then it couldn't have been these two people we already thought it was. And that potentially wouldn't have come up if I hadn't studied occult Latin, in the period before the game starts. So
interesting.
It's really cool. So I think it's not only going to be one that you really want to dive into, it's one that's going to have a lot of layers and a lot of replay value as well, potentially.
Well, there we go. I'm excited for Pentiment. Let us know in the comments down below what you think of Pentiment. And remember to subscribe to GamesRadar on YouTube, because we'll be doing a full video review of the game when it comes out. And of course, it'll be coming straight to Game Pass. Thanks for joining me, Josh. I'll see you on the next one.